Because I ain't gonna take the reins.
Nah, he ain't changing, man. He's just messing.
You lot stay there listening to Max say he's got to be quiet. Max got to be quiet if he tries.
Yeah, you can't shut his mouth. Alright, that's it. M&M's.
Yeah.
Clocks. Now, boom. Just like that. Safe. Done though. Dadsrus, we're here.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? We're here to learn, share, understand. You know how it goes. Right, am I even ready? I don't know. Not doing glasses.
Oh,
Yeah.
He didn't do the thing.
You didn't do it though. You were meant to do it. And
I'm doing it again.
Yeah, do it again.
Alright,
I'm not meant to do it.
Come on.
Dadsrus, yeah?
Yeah, Dadsrus.
Hold on. Dadsrus, I don't know. What's
Bruv, you're taking too long.
Dadsrus, yeah? Love and manners. Thanks for checking in.
Yeah.
Tuning in. We're here to learn, share, understand. At which point, so what camera do I go to when we're doing
Big man, you look at your camera. What do you mean?
But in the edit,
Yeah.
in the edit, what's it going to show? Is it even going to show you doing that? Or?
Bruv, you should put us underneath. You split the screen. Why you going like you're not a big time editor? You're captive.
Don't do that. It doesn't matter.
Oh wait, split the screen, bro. Why would I have to tell him that? No, but why would I have to tell him to split the screen?
My brother.
Talk it, Max. Talk it.
I'll split the screen. I'm tired of this.
You're giving me extra work to do.
Yeah. To split the screen, you press a button.
You could
It's
do
more
like
effort to change between the two cameras anyway, no? Because you got
No,
No.
you
it's
could do
not.
a capacity thing.
No, it's not.
You could do like a
No.
It's not an effort. All you do is go.
No, what I'm saying is it's more effort to split from one to the other to one to the other
No.
To split it.
than just have a split screen.
Of course.
Nah, these non-technical guys, it's not.
You get me? Why?
It's not.
He doesn't need to do that.
Because you say it's the camera 1, camera 2, and you go 1, oh 2, that looks good.
Yeah.
Oh 1 looks good,
Yeah.
and it just switches.
Yeah.
this
That's when you switch it.
To put one on top and one on the
In
bottom.
this
Yeah.
circumstances,
Is
man.
there? Is
Wait,
there?
wait. Let him explain it.
That is, yeah. You want to be technical? That's putting the two of them on top of each other as layers. Yeah, you got to crop this one to a certain point of the screen, and then crop
Yeah,
this one
true,
now,
long.
and then maneuver him down a bit because his head's cut off, and now they both fit in the screen. Yeah, it looks good, and it's there for 3 seconds, and then now
Guess what you just described.
go on.
Your job.
My job. Yeah, I know it's my job, and that's why I said.
And that's why I wanted you to
Baby
describe
drummer,
it.
baby
You
drummer,
thought you was
baby
gonna.
drummer,
You thought you was gonna get me out. No,
No.
I was gonna let you know. Do you
That's
know what
why
I
I
have to
said,
do
yeah.
as a dancer, as a
bare
choreographer?
knees
Do you know what I have to
bare
do?
knees out.
I have to go to work. I have to learn the steps. I have to teach. Bruv, imagine me breaking down my science, man. Do your job, big man.
That's why I'm saying. Just
Right.
don't give me more work, innit? That's what I'm saying.
Sorry, that was a mad intro, but
Anyway,
Carry on.
clearly, Max is in the building.
come on now, big up yourself. 9565 Brockway, they done know the MySpace, but they are Dadsrus. You know how it goes. Come on now.
And Dwayne's in the building.
No, you already know, Rude Boy. I'm passionate. Get me? I'm gonna start editing. I've decided. I'm taking up courses. I don't want no one to talk to me no more, bruv. And when I learn to edit, you lot are dead. Everyone is dead. Once I learn to edit, you lot are finished. You lot can't do no job. I'm just gonna be at the podcast by myself at 6, set up, ready.
And it's going to be called Dad Army.
The thing is,
That me one.
Dad Army, yeah?
what we're not telling everyone is we've had a lot of politics off screen, innit?
No, you had a lot of politics.
No, we've all had politics.
Yeah, we've all had
All
politics.
accountability.
Dad Army. All right, I got that.
But I think it's good because you need that. It's to call that forming, norming, storming behavior, and it's like a way as a
What's it called? Say it again.
Forming, norming, storming, performing. It's like we got to go for a particular kind of process to actually work effectively as a team. So we have to storm. We have to.
I get that.
Go through that process. So we
I get
can
that.
act. You know. So
How long do we have to stay at the store for?
Now storming is going to be a constant thing.
Sound like you.
I say it always happens.
Yeah.
It's part of the
Like
journey.
relationships. That's how it goes. You
I
Like you
agree.
were spitting grime there though as well.
What do you mean?
One more time.
Yeah, you're hitting.
I can't remember the
Spitting
name.
grime,
I
yeah.
can't remember the actual process, but
I'll
once I
just
get it,
say it again, say it
put
again.
it. Forming, norming, storming, performing.
Blah.
The forming, norming, performing. Something like that.
Something like that.
Something like that. It's a brotherhood,
Look,
isn't it?
look,
That's how it goes. And we got Nyron in the building as well.
Oi, oi.
Greetings.
Get me?
New dad, fresh dad.
Yeah.
What, fresh? No accidents, nothing. Just fresh.
No accident.
No reports to
fresh.
Brixton,
No.
Brixton Hill. You know you go Brixton Hill.
I'm tired of you.
And you went outside.
You go and do
You
what?
went, you know you went outside and that. You drive. Wait, go on, babe. You going?
One said.
You get me?
I'm tired of you. You're no longer allowed. You said you weren't going to talk today, and already you
No,
started.
stop.
You did say you weren't going to talk today.
I ain't talking.
We was already recording, so we're going to edit that in. I'm going to do the more work there to shame him. Yeah.
You see what I mean?
I'm gonna do the more
He's
work.
ready. I'm telling you, he only does
The
it.
shit's going on, but it's gonna do it.
To shame you, he's going to be like, You know what you got to do in order to make it happen.
He'll put in the extra hours, yeah?
Brixton Hill. Have me Photoshop at Brixton Hill.
Yeah. I'm gonna do it.
Outside the prison too, innit?
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
Nah, not the
Yeah,
prison.
on the same thing he was just talking about.
No, not everyone knows what you're talking about, so just say it.
Oh, the clinic. You know, you go to the clinic.
That's what he's talking about.
Okay.
You know, in Brixton Hill, you don't know that.
I'm gonna Photoshop you out there. But anyway,
What's the clip?
You shouldn't know about that clinic. You're fine. It's good.
For them.
Because you're a good guy.
That's good. That's a
I
point.
tried to be.
You're a good guy.
Tried to be.
Well done.
So how new? Wait, how new are we?
He is 4.5 months.
And you're out already?
I know. It's bad, innit?
No, wait. Can we upload that? 4.5 months. That's beautiful. And don't do that. Don't do that. What you did there. Don't do
Out
that.
already?
No, don't do that.
Out already,
Don't-
yeah.
Like man's here with us, and you're saying it like he's out, like he was just like, all right, see you later, bye. Don't do that. Don't do that. Do you know what I mean? He's
happens
here.
the next day as well.
Relax.
No, I'm joking. It wasn't like that. But no, it's basically paternity leave is mad anyway because you only get 2 weeks. So
That's
I was
mad.
back at work
2 weeks.
Not even 2 weeks, but yeah, 2 weeks later.
And what do you do?
So currently now I'm a school teacher.
What did you do? Give them a little because we know a little bit.
Tell the people.
I was a performer. I guess I still am.
Of course.
I was a performer for like 15 years, and then I decided to hold it down, like do my thing, live my life. Then I knew I wanted to start a family eventually. Anyway, loads of madness happened. COVID hit. I decided to change my careers. Became a qualified maths teacher of all things.
Wow.
No. You've always been good at maths. You've always been.
I was always good at maths, but you know when you ain't done it for time and then you come
There's
back
still a
to it.
process in it. There's still a process.
It's still a process.
Yeah.
Changed my career anyway because I knew, once you start that family thing, then you just want to make sure that you are
Your security.
stable and secure. So yeah, that happened, and now 2 years into teaching, I started a new school, and then got a little boy.
Come on.
So-
quickly. Though.
And he's smiling.
Wait.
He's smiling like.
Before we get to all the pleasures and joys.
Okay, go
'cause
on.
I do want us to do pleasures and joys.
Yeah.
But
Alright.
but wait, performer, how, where, when, what have you? Who have you performed
boy.
for? Where have you been? What? Talk
Yeah,
it.
that's why I got to like my cousin because he'll big me up rather
Yeah.
than me big me up.
Yeah,
We
he
ain't
does
gotta
the
drag
same.
it, but just
No, he
compliment.
does the same. So maybe you can big him up too.
True. I mean, to be fair, we actually both did a Britain's Got Talent year together. I was as a duo. I used to do like contemporary, throwing some girl around.
I love the way they say contemporary throwing some girl around,
But yeah, it was a duet. It was cool, it was fun. And obviously my cousin was doing his peridot thing. But then we actually split and just went different ways. But I went down musical theatre, I went down parkour, I went down, what else did I do? Puppetry. So, like, to name a few shows, I did Warhorse, I did Fella, the musical at the National, and then after Warhorse was probably my biggest job, where I joined Cirque du Soleil.
Come on.
As a puppet.
That's a big thing. That's a big deal.
It was big.
That's a big deal.
Travelled the world, got to see Australia, performed there at the Sydney Opera House.
Oh, yeah?
Went to America, performed at the Pantages, Madison Square Garden.
There you go.
America's Got Talent, all of those kind of things. But no, it was amazing. Got to literally live my dream, technically. And then, I thought I'd finish on a high. So that was
a
my
maths
high.
teacher.
I finished on a high in that
you know what?
career.
Big
but
man.
you know what? Don't
No,
even-
I'm confused, fam. I'm
No,
like, it does- man,
the thing is,
He likes to comfort people. You got to watch this
I'm
one.
not coming, I'm back
it is
serious.
a high because at the end of the day, in this country, in fact, in probably every country, you need maths to do anything.
110.
So the fact that I now can almost, let's say, teach the next generations to come in something that is worthwhile and not just, let's say, beneficial to me. That's the reward. in itself.
I would more look on your experience more than you being a maths teacher has a more of an impact on the young people in that sense.
Oh, absolutely.
No?
That's
Do you
that's
tell them what
exactly
you-
it.
I was
Do
gonna
you know
ask
where
you-
I've been though, Blank?
I was
Like,
going to ask you if you
you're
talk
just a
about
maths
your
teacher.
experiences. Yeah.
So
Turn on YouTube now, fam.
Well-
You get me? No one's there.
It's mad actually
Stop
because the
talking
school I'm at, they kind of done it for me. So, like I said, I haven't done maths in ages because of my performing. And then I came to this school that I'm at now to teach maths. And obviously they saw my CV, they saw the stuff I've done, and they were like, you know what, can we make you teach dance as well as maths. So I'm teaching both maths and dance currently. And then obviously my history, my experience comes together with it. So it's actually nice because I teach from year group 7 to year 10 right now, and some of them know me as a maths teacher, some of them know me as a dance teacher.
That's cool, man.
They see a
And
role
that's what I love. And then absolutely, so it's like that role model, black male teacher. Who
You'd be that teacher that I would like.
did
You know the
ballet,
teachers that you like in school.
who's done, done all the dance styles.
And I know you must be doing backflips and all that stuff.
Well, yeah, that's what I've tried to promise them. You get me? So like, if they do well, then I will give them a reward. So like, even today, I did the splits for one of my class, and obviously that was a big shock to them because
What, like the proper American splits or the...
no, like full on splits. Still got it. I'm never losing it.
Contemporary.
Yeah. I worked too hard.
Jazz, ballet.
Ballet, tap, acting, singing. I lost the singing.
Parkour, acrobats, all that.
Yeah, parkour, free running, climbing now.
Love that.
Which, I hope, my son will get into because that's what I want to do. I want to share that with him.
How's that going?
Well, listen,
4 months in.
He's 4.5 months, but he's going on like he's about 8 months. So like the stuff he's already doing is insane. He's already crawling backwards. He like rolls onto his front, pushes up. Like he just came out like he was in the gym. You get me? Like
When I say this,
he came out of the
kid
room
is solid.
and this boy had flipping forearms. Man
Kid is
had
solid.
what do you call it? Deltoids. Yeah,
Wow.
listen. And my partner was always like, oh, when he was kicking, she was like, oh, it's really hurting. Like, the ones that you ain't got no sympathy as well, because it's like middle of the night. I'm like, babe, I'm trying to sleep. She's like crying about the pain from the rib. But obviously you see him now, you're like, okay. I understand.
He was kicking your whole intestines out. Man.
He was trying to say he's coming out.
Yeah.
But no, honestly, he's just amazing.
No, go on.
Was he good?
Go on. Sorry, go on.
Oh no, that's cool. I'm just saying he's amazing.
Yeah.
And he's just proper.
You see what was funny there? Yeah, just not knowing the experience that the ladies are going through. Like, because I remember I was there at one point. Like, why are you bothering me? What is going on? It's not real to us until it happens. When did it become? Well, let me not speak for anyone. But do you feel like when did it become real for you? Like, I'm having a human, a child.
That's actually mad.
Or has it?
I'll say for me when I physically saw and held. Do you know what I mean?
No, it was a little bit before that. So when he was obviously due beginning of February, but because of like me and my partner, we started it late. We're considered, I don't remember what the word is they use. Horrible word, like geriatric.
Geriatric.
Like,
I knew you was thinking of that word.
Anyway, that's how they describe us, because obviously when you reach a certain
age,
you can't go beyond your due date. So obviously they were making sure that she has to give birth before he came, before that due date. Sorry. So we wanted a natural birth. That was the mad thing, because I always think there's more complications if it's not. And obviously for me personally, I can't talk because obviously I ain't going to go through that pain. But I'm like, no, we got to do it natural, innit? Got to do it natural.
Yeah.
And she obviously wanted it as well. But then when she's going through all the, sweeping, it's called, and all this, that and the other, it wasn't happening. And she was in lots of pain. And I remember it was crazy actually, because obviously I've heard her scream and stuff before, but then this was a different kind of pain. And then I remember the midwives or whatever they are, the nurses, they must have come in one time thinking that I was like bullying my partner or something, like ready to throw me out, when actually she was just suffering from the pain. And then they saw me and they saw I was actually the one comforting her. But they laughed at her rather than like me laughing, because obviously to them, they see it all the time.
Right, yeah.
And she wasn't like dilated enough or something. So like to them, it was mad that she was feeling this kind of pain or whatever. And for me, like that's when it was hitting, because obviously I can see her physically in pain. And then everything we had planned seemed to be going out the window because she was like, yeah, I don't want to do the drugs, don't want to do the epidural. Then I need the epidural. I need to get this. I need the gas. I need that.
Not the way you switched it.
I'm all trying to be like, all right, you got to breathe, like take the breath. And obviously that just wasn't registering. But I tried to make it light-hearted and all of that. But anyway, I cut the chase. It got to a point where she then had to have an emergency C-section. So then that's when it like hit, because I'm like, rah, they're saying there's complications now. The baby's too big, my partner's too small, and so on and so forth. So it's like, yeah, we got to get him out now.
Wow.
And you're like, okay, cool. And then you got to realize that if you're there, and when you are there, you obviously have to be present. You've almost got to be the voice of reason, and then you've got to take like what's the word I'm looking for now? It's on you basically. If anything happens, you make the final decision, and yeah, you know, that's when like things become real. So you're like, okay, cool. But
if there's any complications, the question's coming to you.
Exactly, but like any decision making. So if even in the C-section and you know, her blood levels go down, or it's like between who do you save and all them kind of things.
I've never.
And thankfully, you know, I say thankfully, it's not thankfully at all, but I've been through enough shit, let's say, in my life. I lost my mum 4 years ago, and that was hard. Like, that was one of the hardest things I've ever had to do.
Yeah.
And go through. And I'm grateful for the mum that I had, because she never let us, you know, panic and stress about things, because she was not one of those people. So I've always been like calm and level-headed. So for me, I don't panic, but I can take it on and just deal with it accordingly. So I was really calm, like I wasn't phased at all, but I knew what to expect.
Right.
And also for us, we didn't actually want to know what we were having. So
it was a lovely surprise.
Everything was going to be a surprise. The only thing I was thinking about was, right, I'm only going to have 2 weeks. So now that they're going to cut her open, what are we going to do? Because the healing process is going to be long. So that's the kind of way I think. So I'm thinking a long term, rather than just here and now.
That's crazy.
But at the end of the day, obviously I wanted them both to be safe and healthy. I knew he was, because one, she's like a proper healthy person, like always puts the baby first. So never had cheat days, doesn't do smoking or alcohol or none of that. So I knew our baby was going to be healthy no matter what. It was more just the size of him compared to her. Anyway, when they cut her open, what's mad is we're not allowed to see anything. So there's a big screen that they create, and then they make me face upwards so I can see her face. But my
you're
back,
facing her.
Yeah, so if let's say you're my partner, I can face you, and your body's going that way, but my legs are going up.
What, you're laid down? What?
So
you're laid down as well?
No. I'm sitting.
Yeah.
So you're laid down, but if I move my whole body round, it's basically so that my legs aren't down with you, because there's a doctor right here.
Right, okay.
So I had to have my back to the doctor, and then looking at my partner, calming her down and all of that.
Yeah.
And then obviously they've cut her open now after they've numbed her, and then all we heard was screaming.
Yeah.
And then we knew straight away it was a boy because of the register of the scream. It was bad. It was mad. And I was like, yeah, that's definitely a boy. And then they were like, do you want to see your child? And I thought to myself, like, what kind of a dumb question is that? Like, that's the stupidest question they've asked all day long. Right? I'm like, who would not want to see their child?
Pregnancy.
And then obviously they lifted him up, and all we saw was just his ball sack and bits. So we were just like, raw. Like, oh man. And then everything else comes into focus, because then he was long. He was just solid. He almost looked like
ready to go to work tomorrow.
I'm not even lying to you. It looked like he was walking out.
Yeah.
And then
Man said walking out.
Obviously you see it on TV, and then you see other people have babies and they look small, innit? Like, you're holding them in the one hand, but this was a two-handed baby, and I got big hands, yeah? So, like, you weren't messing around when you held him. And then what was good is they asked if I wanted to cut the cord. And again, all of this stuff you see on TV, you never imagine what it's going to be like. And I'm like, of course I want to cut the cord. And then you're cutting the cord. and it's mad tough. It's like cutting a leather belt or something. And I was like, wow, this is, it's just so surreal. And then obviously they wrapped him up, and I had to give him his first nappy, so that was all right. That was calm. So they were like telling me what to do, and while I was doing that, like, he's such a gin already because he's holding the nurse's finger, you know. Like, he just came out like ready, like he knew what to do with everything. So he's holding her hand, and even the nurse was like, "Wow, this kid's advanced." Like, wow, he's just holding my finger, and put on his nappy, and he was already moving his head, and we're just like, "Is this normal?" kind of thing. And obviously, because they always kept asking, like, "Is this your first child? Is this your first child?" We're like, yes. So obviously, we don't know, what's going on. But at the same time, I've got an older brother who has 6 kids. My mum's one of 9 kids. I've got a whole heap of cousins. I've always been surrounded by kids. And I know one thing that me and my partner would argue about is I never did the research in it. So I don't do the books and like reading this, what you can't give them, what you should do, how they should sleep. And I'm thinking, I had like the best mum in the world. She raised whole heap of pickney them. Like, I'm good. I'm safe. I'm still here. So there's nothing that these books can tell me that I don't already know from my mum as my experience. And I just remember we would argue all the time about it. She's like, have you read this book yet? Have you read this material yet? And I ain't read nothing. And obviously that whole thing of when we had to go to like the emergency C-section, I know she was panicked because obviously I didn't read anything to know what I should be saying or not saying. But as I said, I don't panic. I rely on my logic. I rely on common sense. And for me, I've actually just found it quite easy in a lot of ways. But that's because he's made it easy for me too.
Right.
He's like the best child ever. Like, he came out proper healthy. He was 52 centimeters, weighing 8'7".
Big baby.
He had massive hands, massive feet, and he basically was my clone. So like, he came out all me. Like, there was nothing of my partner in him. And even like, when you send the pictures to the family, and the family's all like, yeah, there's nothing of you in there, is there? It's all Nyron. It's all Nyron. And I'm like, what can I say? But the only thing different from when I was born to how he was born is he had way more hair than I did, and I was born with eczema, and he wasn't. So he's just,
that's good, man.
Like, legendary. But no, the whole experience, I'll never forget it. 31st of January, 7:33 to be precise, was when he was born, and then the rest is out.
So the realness, the realization of being a father hit you at that moment. You're saying
it hit me when she had to have when they said we're doing the emergency C-section, because I'm like, okay, now I'm fully in charge here. If anything goes wrong, her recovery is going to be a mad thing.
So you already accelerated your head forward. I heard that as well. You put your head forward, like thinking, "Wow, I've only got 2 weeks. How am I going?"
Because this is it. And obviously, your maths teacher, you're already doing all the maths.
And you're worrying about the other.
I'm like, I got to go back to school soon. It's just me and her family. She's Welsh, so her family live out there, and it was those kind of things that was a bit worrying. And she's a stressor, not in a bad way, but one thing why we work is we balance each other out.
Of course.
So I don't stress, she stresses. And so it's that, it's a nice yin and yang to have, and then that helps with, parenting. And
that's beautiful.
It's never going to be easy. It's always going to have some difficulties, but I think it helps being calm on my end.
Yeah.
That's beautiful. It's that you didn't seem like you took in a lot. I think when I'm looking back, reflecting on, I've got the big head boy out there in the back there now, and I'm thinking most of it, I didn't take most of it in. I'll be honest with you, it was such a.
Yeah.
But it seems like you are properly in like, I knew where I was sitting, but I could tell you I fainted.
You fainted?
Yeah.
You fainted?
Yeah.
Nah, I don't faint.
Can't do the blood.
Sorry,
Can't do
you know what?
Do you move your hand? What are you laughing at?
Can't do the blood.
can't laugh at a man.
reason-
I can laugh.
Because
I can laugh.
That's not nice,
But-
man.
I honestly didn't know what emotions would muster. I think if it was a normal delivery, like a vaginal birth,
Yeah.
maybe there would have been a completely different set of emotions. Like I know people who cried when they saw the birth. Obviously, no.
Well, did you cry? Did you cry?
Yeah, he did.
I did fully.
He did.
Yeah.
Fully. 2 eyes.
That's the
Both
thing.
eyes.
I
You get the
know.
one tear.
Hold on.
I know
some
people
people-
What
harder
kind
than
of
I am, and
movie
they
thing is it?
proper cry.
Man, come with the crying theme and just
They did the one tear, fam.
no, bruv. Nobody does the one tear.
The full
That's
tears.
But you will be surprised, like the fainting thing, like we're laughing, but that is probably
Yeah,
the most.
the blood.
No, but the thing is, I laughed because I felt faint. So you see how you was ready, thinking I was just laughing at him. I was laughing at how he said it. I didn't faint.
yeah.
I felt faint, like when we was having the twins, and I don't know what was going on. Cassie was getting epidural and she was in pain, and I was just like,
Yeah.
so right, I need to go outside for a second, man.
Fresh air.
But I didn't know, innit? I went into the toilet. I like the movie, like you're saying, like, I had to wash my face, and I said, "Raw, I was gonna faint." And I'm in the toilet saying this to myself. I was like, "What's wrong with you, bro?" I'm talking to myself, bro, in the toilet.
Yeah.
And I went back in the room, and it was just Cassie, mother of my kids, and her friend, and it's just them in there, and I'm just seeing them still like, "Yeah, no, it's fine." And I was looking at them, and I said, "Yeah, I'm just gonna be at this end. I'm just gonna be here. When you need me, I'm here." And it was two of them, the one, they go, "Yeah, we got one coming." And then they're like, "We're gonna do it again." I said, "Ah!"
That's a lot.
Real.
Twice, brother. To shake myself into reality.
I can't imagine that.
Crazy.
Then she's just like, "No, I can't do that. No, I can't." Just and then, "All right, we're gonna do it again." And she's like, "Ah!" I'm like, "Ah!"
Yeah, everyone's just screaming.
Joke is that actually was Dwayne.
Yeah.
She's probably shutting him up. Get him in a picture.
That was all internal though, I never really, none of that in real life. I was just like, in my head it was going, you know when they do in the movies, when they show you the person and they're just like, in the head.
Nutty Professor style.
I was there.
Buddy Love.
Bruv, I was going in.
German Clump was there, but Buddy Love.
Buddy Love was out. He's like,
What is that? Is that?
I heard a jealous, my shit likes Reggie.
Is that both natural? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah, no, I
Easy.
would have liked that experience, but at the same time, thinking about it on my perspective, that's just selfish. But for my partner, for sure, that was probably the right
best
decision
option.
and the best
Yeah,
option.
I mean, it happened how it was meant to.
Yeah.
Do you get what I mean?
But think about if we did push like we wanted to, or like I wanted to, so many complications could have happened. 'Cause
Yeah.
she's petite, like and his head would have got stuck for sure. His shoulders, OMG,
And his
like,
fingers.
He would have.
It wouldn't
have
happen. Bottom.
They would have had to like dislocate his shoulder, probably break her hip.
Yeah, it
like
wouldn't
there's so many madness that
Wow.
could have happened or would have happened.
Yeah.
No way.
And as a result, like everything about him is just perfect. So exactly, like I'm grateful that we didn't. Or I wasn't too stubborn to push for that, and we went with it. But what is mad? I know we don't go through it as the men, but the way you get tossed aside by the hospital, oh my god, it's like you weren't there. I remember the first night, they were just like, "Yeah, there's your chair," kind of thing, right?
The little tough one.
But they didn't even tell me it can recline. So the first night, man was like upright, quick neck, like I was vexed.
Listen, there's gonna be people there that says, as it should be, Nyron. As it should be.
Listen,
Firstly,
I'm-
it should be, but man still deserve
No, but the man
could have told
tell
me.
me that
There's
it
also a man
reclines.
sat there saying
Flipping
right
hell.
now on the seat, like, bro.
I was honest to God, I was literally like my neck was mashed up. But you
I was
can't say
like, I
nothing.
got looked after. They were very nice. to me.
They also were like, yeah, you as the partner have to go get their breakfast. And I'm like, what about my breakfast? Like, no, you don't get breakfast. I'm like, okay. So like, I have to go. pick up the tray,
We are
pick up
treating
all
like a
breakfast,
second class
bring it to her, and then go find my own bread. I was like, okay. Yeah.
Reba, how
I
does
don't
man
mind
treated
that.
like rebirth before it's happened, bro?
But I was like, wow.
Like, you're not about to be a parent as
And
well.
then they come in and they're like talking to Like, we're the parents, yeah? And I don't exist. And they just talk to her the whole time.
I think that's by default sometimes. I don't think they mean that.
No. I tried to ask a question and I got this.
No, you didn't.
Who done that? The midwife?
The midwife.
No, hey, you lot take Libby. What hospital is this? Let's put it on there now. What do you mean? And you're right, I put a complaint for you
No,
now.
but it was mad because I'm like,
No, that's mad.
I'm here too. Like, I'm here for the journey of it as well. But
And the thing is, we're laughing and joking about it.
I'm losing.
No, I think I might have got slightly upset.
you don't get.
But then it makes it about me,
say.
so I need to not do that.
And so when I asked my question, which was related to both, by the way, like, it was like a valid question, you know. And
Hold on. What was the question?
I can't remember.
How come she got breakfast and I have to go get my breakfast?
Which the thing is, I wouldn't complain. And I still don't complain. I'm just laughing at it now. But
Why didn't you tell me it reclines?
I just thought, do you know how I knew that the bloody chair reclined?
By accident.
No, my cousin came to visit the baby,
I need to hear him. Watch him.
and she went, why didn't you recline the chair? I'm like, does it look like I knew the damn chair reclined? Because my neck was hurting and you can't complain.
How long was you?
She must have saw me like rubbing the neck and like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, oh no, I just slept bad. She's like, where did you sleep? I'm like, oh, there. So what, you didn't move it back? No? I'm like, what do you mean move it back? The way she got in it and just slid it back, I was
That's
like,
why we need them. We need them.
I was pissed.
You don't understand.
That chair wasn't moving.
And you see why he didn't figure it out though? Because he didn't want to complain either.
But that's the thing,
So
you
it's
don't
like that's what we do. We go, I don't want to make this about me.
I'm not, that's
But now I'm in pain, and now someone just come along and make me sound stupid. Why you never just move it back?
All I'm saying is like, it's the fact of the matter is, when you said that's your chair, you could have just said it can recline. Like, that's the reclining chair. Give me the information. I would have worked it out. I'm not trying to break the chair for anyone else who's next, but yeah, I was vexed. I'm not gonna lie. And then
I can hear.
I wondered if my baby was deaf actually, because
Wow.
the baby opposite. Oh dear Lord! Right. So again, something else to learn. When you are having the baby, they treat you or my partner like a princess. You get your own room and it's like en suite. Like, honestly, it's beautiful. And it's roomy. And you think, wow, is that how hospitals are in the like maternity ward? So I think you all get your own room and it's blessed. Seen as that baby is born and you leave the delivery
Back
room,
into the
you get
population.
dashed in like a six bed ward or something with all these newborn babies. Now, obviously, our baby was born healthy and fine, but the baby opposite must have had some jaundice or something, and she screamed and cried the whole night through. When I say I wanted to die, like, it was mad. I'm like, nah, this baby is nuts. And it's like the parents weren't doing nothing. They just left her to cry.
Okay.
So me and my partner did not sleep the entire night, and obviously my neck was mashed up. But you see, my baby, Ruben, he was out cold. So I'm thinking, how is this not affecting him? It was the best night's sleep he's ever done, by the way.
Oh, really? That night?
Was the only time he slept.
What night was that? The night after?
The night he was born.
He's had a long journey.
Yeah. They have to, man.
No, long
I didn't know this. So I'm thinking, oh, this baby is blessed. Like, why he sleeps the night through. Noise doesn't bother him. Da, da, da. We ended up staying 3 days because obviously my partner had to heal up a bit more and
Normal checks.
then normal checks, and he basically still had fluid in his ear. So this is something you learn when you have a C-section. The fluid that they have in their head doesn't clear if it's a C-section. It only clears when they have a vaginal birth, because I think the squeezing of the head like pushes the water out or whatever. So his checks were incomplete, and one of it was the hearing. So I was like, oh no, our baby's deaf. All right, cool, we got to work through that. But then actually it's just the water hadn't cleared, and then he was fine. So the only reason why we were still in hospital was more because of my partner now and how she was recovering.
Maybe that water blocked his hearing from hearing that baby screaming.
So
But
that's what I think it is, because I'm telling you, this was this kind of scream that goes right through you. You know, when it's like,
Yes, sir.
it just shook my whole soul, and it was the pitch as well, and I'm not used to it. So I was like, yeah, this is insane. But anyway, when we got home, flipping hell, this boy did not sleep at all. Like, all now he still hasn't slept.
Ready to go.
The maximum time he's ever slept is 3 hours.
Standard.
Seriously.
Yeah.
It's 3 hours, always 3 hours.
In
3 hours is the magical
3 hours
number.
1.5
and then
months.
It was three
That's a
hours.
magic number.
So, yeah. And thankfully, it doesn't affect me as much because I don't obviously have to feed him. It's my partner, and they say, like, only give them breast milk for, like, the first 6 months. So, and we didn't.
Who's
do the
saying that?
whole
Who's
pot.
saying that?
That's what's in the books.
Remember, she's by the books.
And
Is
the
it?
midwife and all that.
Hey, Shad, hello. Lock it off, innit? Lock it off.
You can still breastfeed
the
him, bro.
what?
Yeah.
Oh.
No, she takes that seriously. That's one thing we've had a battle with. Because the first day when my baby girl came, I've been through all that. I know how it can be with I want to be part of that, and that's the first part where a man can actually engage and get involved
And
in something
bond.
or another. So that's where I went. Right, I'm going out. First day I went out, go and get the baby pump, the little normal one first. She's just dashed it on the side.
Yeah.
Then I said, let me get the technical one. You get me, £400 one. She didn't want
That's still mad though. Like,
She just wants to breastfeed. One.
it's actually probably easier to just breastfeed unless obviously you're still sociable and want to have your life and all of that. But it's just like the milk is still warm. The milk is like, the feeding is more personal.
100%.
But the thing is, like, as men, we've got to improvise and do other things. So, for example, like, there's other ways to bond, innit? So, having skin to skin with your child is just as effective as feeding.
Is that the book?
No, that's just
No,
facts.
no, it's standard. It's
So,
standard.
obviously, they like warmth. They already know your voice.
From-
And that's what other people fail to understand. Because remember, skin is only that thick. So from time they can like react to light in the womb, they can obviously hear every conversation that you say. They know your voice. It's mad. So like when they're telling you to sing to your child and all of that and talk to it, there's a reason. There's logic behind it. And one thing I'm grateful for is that I've always been hot, like really hot. So I'm like a radiator. So when we go bed, like all before we were having a baby, my partner would always like snuggle into me and steal my heat. So what was funny was when he was first born, like the first month, he actually slept better on me than he did on my partner because I was just more warm, and that was a bond in itself. So for me, like, I don't need to feed him because there's going to be plenty of time for that. But having that skin to skin or seeing him every day.
So do you get, see when the baby at 3 o'clock in the morning, and the baby's now
Yeah.
making noise, and then you got nothing to do. You don't
That's-
need
but
no
that's the
skin to
thing.
skin. Do you get up as well and wait with that? All right,
So
come on, babe.
if I'm honest, he's not that big a crier. So when he wakes up,
Just wants that thing.
he just wants food or he's just awake and like he's calm. So in a way, I am lucky because I don't have the screaming child.
Okay. Just don't.
Yes, he's been ill, and then that was weird. That was so different for us because then he was crying, and we were like, "Wow, like this is unheard of. Like, what's going
You
on?"
get colic and that.
It wasn't even colic. I think he just had they call it a virus in his throat, and he was just dribbling loads. But this is the happiest, most sociable child ever. Like, he loves people. He looks at you. His head, he's bare nosy. I'm like, flipping hell, you are your grandmother's baby for real. Like, my mum was in everything. And I miss her so much. But in a way, I'm so grateful because he has so many of my traits, which obviously I get from my mum. But there's some looks he does, and oh my God, I literally see my mum, and it's the funniest.
But you mentioned your mum. Pups. What about pups and that?
So my
Your mum
dad,
knocks and so.
no, it's all good. My dad is obviously still around. He left me when I was 5. He
Left
didn't
you
like-
when you're 5 or your mum? Like,
Yeah, well, they were never
Oh.
really together, but he was around up until I was 5, and then he moved back to Jamaica. So it's not that I didn't have a relationship or I didn't know my dad, but let's just say I didn't have a relationship because technically you can't really father your children from the other side of the
Distance.
world, as it were.
some people still try and do that as well.
Some people try and do it, but
Like spend 6
now that
days,
I've
months.
only done it for 4.5 months, I know that you can't do that stuff.
Yeah.
Far away. You miss everything. And, you know, there were times when I was starving. We didn't have money to have food, but my dad wouldn't know that or be able to do anything. And there's things that I was never taught by my dad that a man should be teaching his son, in my opinion.
100%.
So that's what I would definitely make sure that I am going to be doing for my son. And it was funny, actually, I was talking about this the other day, but it's just like even basic things. When I'm younger, obviously I'm good now, but when you're younger and you're going to the toilet, like something as simple as like lift both seats up, and like you don't think of that.
You wouldn't know that.
And you don't know that. So for time I was just like
Grassing up the
eating,
seat.
yeah, and you mash up the seat and you're like, right, you still
Everywhere.
clean it and all that, but I know it's common sense now, but obviously when you're a little you don't think about them kind of things.
No,
Or
respect for that.
when you then want to like shave and all of that. So
yeah.
all now I've never shaved. I just go to the barber and let them do it because I don't want them razor bump things and all of that stuff. But just things like that is things that I want to make sure that I can now.
So what, you don't see him now? You don't see him now?
No, so I see him and not I say see him. Thankfully for technology now, it's a lot of video calls. And, you know, my dad's getting on. And obviously I want him to come and see his grandson. But he can't handle the long flights.
Yeah,
Now
oh,
for me, if he's going to meet his granddad,
You have to go.
I'm going to have to take him up there. And part of me is just like, why the hell do I want to do all that? And, you know, it's going to be more trouble. And if it's too hot for him and he's not going to, it's going to be a ball ache. But really and truly, I don't want to deprive him of meeting his only grandparent, my son. And like, you know, he's got a lovely relationship with his grandparents on his mum's side, and he loves his grandma and he loves his granddad. And he would absolutely have loved my mum, and my mum would absolutely have loved him.
100%.
So it's just, it pisses me off that she doesn't get to meet him and he doesn't get to meet her and know how amazing she was. Because honest to God, when I think about what my mum did, in hindsight, there is no one, I say no one, there's not many people, and I'm talking about a handful of people, would have done what she had done for her kids. Like a handful of people globally.
Have you forgiven your dad?
Yeah, I don't hold any animosity towards him at all. Like I said, for me, I'm a logical person in the sense that I see what happened. I don't know what went down. I don't need to know what went down, but I'm also one of those people that if I didn't like that situation, I'm not going to repeat that situation. Hence why I waited till I was ready to have a family. Hence why whatever happens, I will always be there for him. Like, I waited this long because I wanted to have the right partner, not know any partner. So I'm happy to joke about it when it's like, oh, no accident thing. Yeah, absolutely not. Because for me, I've seen what happens there. I've been a product of that, let's say. And why the hell would I want to repeat that? And I had the choice to do so. So because I've had the choice and it's all on me, then that's exactly what I'm going to do.
Logical thinker.
Do
It's
what I
powerful.
think
It's
is
powerful.
right.
It's powerful. Where do you, so you say that you could say that example or that kind of being is from your mum, where you learnt that behavior. Because it's like, again, you just mentioned some key things about my son. I knew, like Danny said, I can't remember when you said you realised the father thing. I'm about to, when you realised it was for real.
Become like
Yeah, because you said that at the
Average.
birth. My mum wasn't at the birth. My mum was further on down the line when I actually, when, you know, I was in the bathroom and the son actually was looking like,
Looking for you. Like,
looking up at me and saying, "Rah, now dad," and I'm like, "Rah, he's actually looking like he wants to be.
He needs me.
He needs me now." I mean, so that's when that's the realization. I mean, in the toilet, that's when he's looking at my thing like, "Rah, I've got the same as you.
Yeah.
So would I do this? I'm sure you
Absolutely.
will."
Absolutely.
So it's kind of that. That's when it was real. Nah, that's
No,
when, I'll
but
be honest.
No,
I can
it's just the way you said it, bro. It's the way you
yeah.
said it.
No,
You
and
got
I
to
can
find
feel
new
that.
ways of saying things.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
Just the mad thing.
It's like when you say, looked at my things.
Yeah, yeah.
Looked at my things.
But it's
I was
look at my
like,
teeth though,
I'm
fam.
gonna show you, Rubai. I was like, what the hell, bro? What's the matter with you?
Like, what is that? I was like,
Yeah,
you got the same thing,
I know
man.
exactly what you meant, but you can't talk with that amount of veracity.
It's gonna be like,
Oh, we got it. It's cool.
but no, it's just literally, it's powerful that you spoke
It is
about the
powerful.
little bits about the toilet seat and that kind of thing. So
That's real still.
because I'm not lying, brother. There's brothers that have actually repeated the cycle without even knowing that they did that or gonna
Without
do that.
knowing.
They didn't wish they. I don't think your dad actually.
No, I'm not saying he wished it or would.
No, what you're doing is owning that you wasn't going to
What
repeat
I'm
it.
saying,
That's
I'm
it.
just not repeating it.
That's it. I'm
I know
not mad at my dad
so
for it.
many
I'm just not going to do it.
Yeah, I know so many people who just repeat the cycle. And in my head, I'm like, but you've been cussing your dad. You've been hating your dad. You resent your dad. So why would you then do the same thing? That doesn't make any sense to me.
But you're a logical person.
Yeah.
That's
my
that you
point.
could just tell. You
But
could
it's
just
been
tell
common
with
sense,
Navid.
man.
It's like, wait, so 1 + 1 is
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying?
and you found 7. How did you find 7 out of 1 + 1? That doesn't make any sense.
Still, the point is, I'm going back to the point of the toilet seat. Yeah,
You like the toilet, innit?
No, I'm just giving an example
Alright,
of
say
the
no
toilet
more.
seat and little bits and pieces that he was not showing. How did he then come to the realization that of what his role as a father? Do you get what I'm saying? It's a because you don't know unless someone shows you, and sometimes you just think
That's it.
Unless you got an example, how would you know any?
No, you're right. You don't, but you decide. I'm just not going to continue the cycle.
Exactly. The thing is, everyone hates certain things, right? And when you hate certain things, like for example, you try food, you know instantly when you don't like food, would you bloody eat it again? Absolutely not. So why the hell would you then repeat something that you don't like? That doesn't make sense. And to say that's the only product that you can do or that's the only life you've got, it's not.
It's very true.
It's not. At the end of the day, there's so many things that I've done that I regret. There's so many, like, I don't, yes, I've had a successful career performing. Yes, I am now a maths teacher. But I actually went to a really good school, thanks to my mum. And I don't think I made the most of the education at the time.
Yeah, when you look back.
I'm making it now, but it's too little too late. I can't repay my mum back because she ain't here no more.
But you're doing
You
that.
beat yourself up about it all the time. So instead of doing that and then go, oh yeah, I'm not going to learn from it. Learn from it. No? Like, go, raw, this was mad.
100%.
Why did it take me so long to do this? And okay, cool.
I guess
Then fix it.
there can be examples of different circumstances and scenarios.
Absolutely.
So yeah, not to downplay those, but I
And
fully
and
agree.
again, for me, I'm never going to say I know everyone's situation for all
Yeah,
I know.
exactly.
I'm blessed because I've got a bloody beautiful, healthy baby
Yeah.
who's smiley, doesn't cry, and we're not stressed like that because he's a sickly child. When that happens, absolutely, there's going to be other things to factor in. Some people change. There's what you call postnatal depression and all of that
lots
stuff,
of-
and you could have a car crash or something, and
Yeah, it could be
accidents happen. You could get fired from your job. So many circumstances could change that then put a pressure on the family that
And the
caused that.
relationship.
And I am not negating that at all. However, what I am negating is for the actual ones that don't do that. And instead, you've just made a choice to be whatless. Yeah, you made a choice to be like, yeah, I'm just breeding.
Yeah.
I'm just being an idiot. Because I ain't got time for those people.
But the problem is, the problem is that I've tried to run up, and you because you work in the schools, you understand the
Yeah.
different dynamics of the children within the classroom. So you know who's had the good upbringing, you know who's got manners,
Absolutely.
who's not, and boom, boom, boom. There's always a Tyrone. If you got a Tyrone in your classroom, there's always a Tyrone.
No, I do.
Or a Tyler.
Yeah, you get Tylers.
Always Tylers. They all got a Tyler, but
Nowadays, what you're getting is names that you can't even
don't
pronounce.
make sense or have no meaning.
You gotta be a name cyst,
where-
man.
And that's the other thing. that's actually the fundamental bit, is when you're just making up shit. Because remember, a person is it's precious. Yeah, they're meant to have meaning. They're meant to be something. When you're making up dead names because you just like it and it's
Go on,
from
give
the
an example.
ghetto.
Give an example.
No, you can't.
But you know,
He gets himself in trouble.
I'll give you examples of celebrities. Like when you're calling your child, I don't even know, Apple, or after your football shirt number. So what are you saying here then? That your child is less important than you?
Yeah, 100.
To the point that you're going to call them a number based on what you wore? Like, give them their own identity.
But that, let me land though.
Let them have a
Let me land with that bit though. Let me land because I've gone on a point about the kids in the school and then the implications of other men or people not doing what they're supposed to do. So when a man walks out on a child or not part of their life, it has an implication on them, and then they go into the society of school and they become this. Our child then becomes. Your child then goes into the pool of them kids.
Absolutely.
So it has an effect.
And it has an effect on everyone.
Massive effect.
The whole community. And this is my point.
Problem. So how do you...
Because then the other thing is, well, they have to make amends, and so they go down the life of crime. They go down the life of this. And then, you know, you're nothing because you're a teacher, and their mums or their dads pay your wages because they pay taxes. And little do they know that your mum and dads are on benefits, so they ain't paying nothing. But you don't know all of that. It's just, it's ignorant. There's no education, which is another reason why I wanted to go down the education route. But it's so broken, it's so hard to change. And it is just problematic. So the only way to do your bit is to lead by example.
Good.
So
I
that's all
live
I
by
can
that.
do, right?
I live by
So
that.
if I'm going to have a child, I'm going to stand by my child come what may. I'm going to be present for my child. And, you know, like my mum had 3 of us. My brother has 6 kids, and he has been there for all 6 of his kids.
All 6.
And he is still there for all 6 of
Same
his
household.
Same household, same partner. None of this, I've got 900 baby mothers and Like, he could have done the same thing, right? He could have gone and repeated the cycle, couldn't he? But he chose not to.
Good.
So that was a good role model for me to do.
Perfect.
Yeah. And my point is, I could have done the same thing as most other people. But no, I'm like, actually, if I'm going to have kids, I want them to be happy. I want them to see me as something they can look up to. Something they can actually be better than. And I know I'm not great. However, I want my child to be greater, regardless.
No, you are great, but I hear you. Just to know you, we're not going to argue on it. We're not going. Don't do that. Don't do that. Not with us. Your cousin will tell you. Don't do that. Don't do that.
You have your regrets, though.
We don't do
You
that.
have your regrets, you have your thingies, but
Life though.
like I said, and that's it. And it's all hindsight. My point is, do you be dumb and not learn from your experiences or your failures? Or do you actually be smart and go, you know what, this failure was because of this, let me fix it.
100%.
Lead by
I'd
example,
rather that.
as you said.
Yeah. So
Has he, you see when he's changing, man? Has he shitted on you yet?
oh yeah.
I got
he's-
spray when I was.
to be fair,
I got sprayed. My daughter.
I lie.
sprayed.
He actually hasn't showered me. He has drenched me though. Like, oh my gosh. So, and he always picks me. And I think, like I said, because I'm the warmest. So, when they weigh him, obviously he has to be naked, and it's always so cold because why wouldn't it be? You just taking all your clothes, and then as soon as I picked him up and put him to my chest, it's like it's just all come out. And I remember I came out of the shower just before he got weighed. So the midwife came to our house and she brought the scales, and the flipping thing was so cold for him, bless him. So like no matter what she did, she just couldn't warm up this bowl. And he was like squirming in it, and you're just allow it, man. You're just hurting my child. So I couldn't wait to pick him up and comfort him. But he listened, and it got to the point where I'm thinking this little thing, like he was like that big. Right. He must have peed like he was filling out a 2-liter bottle or something. I was like,
That's how it
you know,
felt
when
to you
everything's
anyway.
dripping still, and I'm like, oh my days, like everyone was laughing at the time, but
Yeah, just a blessing.
I'll take
That's
that all
blessed,
day long.
yeah.
What's your fears?
My fears. I mean, that list is endless, to be fair, but I think the biggest fear is just letting him down or not being there when he needs you, him possibly getting ill or something like that. But those are just normal fears, in my opinion. And if you don't have those fears, then something's wrong with you. But for me, it's just, you know, I'm going to do my very best to be there and provide always whatever I can. But yeah, I just think the normal fears for me are just normal, everyday, or should be everyday fears. But but I'm always going to be there. But like, yeah, I mean, just the best thing about my day is going home and seeing him react to seeing me. Because he's got the best smile in the world.
Yeah.
And, you know, not to like put anyone else's business out there, but every person he interacts with, whether what they've been going through or whatever, they've always loved his smile. Because remember, children are innocent, yeah? Especially babies when they don't know anything. So they'll just see you, they're not judging you.
That's all.
They're just smiling at you because they want to be a friend. And like, I've literally seen him smile at people who are going through shit and he's just melted their hearts. Like, I've had a shit day at school where I'm just overworked, busy, almost stressed. And obviously you don't want to come home and burden your partner because obviously she's had to deal with him all day long. And as much of a blessing he is, he can't communicate. So when he is fussing or when he is hungry and we don't know what the problem is, you know, he's still going to make it
Figure that out.
a thing. So she's going to be knackered and she's obviously the stressor. So, you know, any noise she's worried about, like it's damaging, and, you know, she's careful of every corner or slipping down the stairs while holding him, and she hates the way I hold him. So I've got big hands.
You know,
and
just grab it one time.
I
like
hold
that.
him
I
with
hold my
one
baby like
hand
that, like.
and all of it, and they hate it. Everyone who sees me doing it, they're like, "Oh my God, don't drop him, don't drop him." I'm thinking to myself,
It's my child.
why would I drop him?
Yeah.
Like, I would broke my own neck jumping out of, like, under him to save him. But like watching his face when I'm doing it,
It's calm, man.
it's just the best. But yeah, no, I honestly, I think, what day is it? Friday? Tuesday? What's Tuesday? Either Monday or Tuesday. I came home and it was the best greeting he has ever like given me. I don't know what he was thinking or feeling, but he was like bouncing. He was like in my partner's arms, and he was so happy to see me, and I couldn't believe it. And I'm just like, imagine that someone is that happy to see me.
Yeah.
Who am I? And the glee in his face. And I'm just thinking, like, who the hell would want to miss out on that? That doesn't make sense to me.
Agreed. Told you were great though.
Doesn't make sense
I'm
to me.
saying, man, so I
me.
don't know. I'm not that, but
Yeah, forget the man missing out. I'd rather hear what that feels like when you walk in. Like,
Yeah, but it's just crazy. Like I said, I remember I even had an argument with my neighbour as well, of like, he parked in the parking space that I reserved for myself.
Yeah.
And it was like a proper back and forth. And we're calm, by the way, like there's no beef. But you're just like, I'm tired from work. You've parked in my space. Like, I'm vexed, brother. I just want to go inside. Move your car, man. I'm not, I'm not even
no
in the
long
gym.
thing,
Just
yeah.
move the car. I said I want to go spend time with my family. Move the car, and then I'm heating now. 'Cause I'm like, why did I have to go through that? Because I would never move his stuff to park where he's reserved, right? And I was fuming. And then you go inside and you kind of just want to still cuss in it, and it's like, but there he is, and he's just like,
yeah.
and I'm
He
like,
doesn't
you know
care
what?
about
Yeah.
none of that.
He didn't hear any of that.
And he reminds you
And
that
then
you
you're
don't
just
care.
like, yeah.
Or you don't have
And that's
to.
my point.
Yeah.
Like, that was so little
Yeah.
in comparison.
Of course.
And this is the mad thing. Like, obviously, everyone else, that's a big deal. That's a kicking up the car thing or
get out the car.
knife
imagine.
thing. and like, it's mad.
What do you, if you could put that into a bottle
What, the guy in
and
the house?
sell it, what would that be?
Going in the house.
What?
Nah, that
What, the feeling that you see?
feeling, because I'll get that. I only got that. I get that all the time. I get that with my daughter today when I watched little my older daughter. She's sleeping, and then I watched the baby 2-year-old get. And I was trying to get my phone to go and film it because I knew she was going to do it. She got the quilt, the cover, and then covered over her sister, and I was like, "Oh my diddy days!" The way it made me feel was like, "You're too advanced. How do you know to do that?"
How do you know? Yeah.
But she knows how to do it because she sees other people. But it's just the way
Exactly.
she did it. Folded it up, tried, she's falling over, tripping over it, and that,
It's
and
just
just put it
learning.
over, and it's like, but how do we? What is that?
Did you faint?
How do we? Huh?
Did you faint?
What when she done that?
This guy, he's coming for you
That's a
today.
dead one.
No, he's coming for you though. He's
That's
coming.
dead. That ain't gonna. That's dead though. Could We both nearly fainted. He knows.
No, he cried.
You fainted. You actually
You fainted.
I didn't nearly
I
faint.
did, of course.
I-
I don't do black.
I felt
I don't do
faint.
black. I get a little cut on my finger. I'm gone.
Hey,
fam.
do you know, yeah,
That's
before
blood.
before you say what the bottle's called, yeah, I was offered to look at the cesarean, you know, on mine.
Really?
Like, is this like a new thing or was mine?
I think it's new because
mine's obviously 16 years ago.
no, it's definitely new. It has to be.
I was asked if you wanna, do you wanna come and have a look
And
No,
did you
see-
look? Did you
and
look?
see what's going on?
But to be
Correct.
fair, like I
Correct.
said, this was an emergency one anyway, so maybe that could be why.
Okay, maybe.
I don't know.
My
I'm not
first
looking.
wasn't an emergency. It was a decision that had to be made. My second was an emergency, and I didn't see my second actually. I wasn't offered my second actually.
Okay.
I wasn't even allowed in the room. He might not even be my you. I don't know. Like,
No, but that's scary. I'll say them too.
I want you to ensure you don't put that part out.
No, my
Thankfully
son-
it is
my
because it
son,
looks exactly
he's
like him.
Bruv, he looks exactly like you. So I'm not even playing that game.
And that's the other thing.
No, you know what? Let the joke run though. Let the joke run.
Even if I wanted to play
I've said
that
it to
game,
him.
I couldn't.
Yeah. I hear
Yeah, I've
that.
said it to him.
He came out literally the stamp of his dad.
Yeah.
And I remember my partner was just like happy but sad, you know. It wasn't like, but I carried him, and there's like nothing of
Yeah,
me.
like-
So it got be a bit. So it
It'll
got.
change later.
No, it might not. You know,
He ain't changing.
I don't think he is.
The thing,
Yeah,
the
wait,
man,
see, innit?
everything is even the mannerisms.
I don't think he is. I don't
When
think he
we
is.
saw the sonogram or whatever you call it, all we saw first was the hand before the head, and I was like, "Oh my god, that's my hand!" Like he had the whole fingers stretched thing, and he just doesn't stop eating. That's the other thing I forgot to mention. So, because I said we were new parents, obviously they're like, "Oh, we're gonna have to show you how to feed," because obviously you have to try and get the milk to come through, and obviously because she couldn't get it out, like it wasn't working. And they always say it's all about the baby, how they take to it. Because I've got friends, actually I got a friend who had a child like very soon after me, and her child struggled with feeding. And then obviously there's like reflux and all of this problems. But you see Ruben, flipping hell, he latched on like that and just he went to town. Like,
food now.
It's like he literally had been doing this for years.
Man was
Like, I remember the,
I got
the
this.
midwife.
I got it from here, ma.
The midwife.
When he
was
latched
like,
on, did he give you the hand as well?
like honestly, it's mad.
It's coming for people today, bro.
But the mad, right? The midwife looked and like, you know, when she's trying to give pointers, but she's like, no,
It's already.
wait, this is your first child, right? It's like, yeah.
Now, that's because he's been here before.
Yeah, he was
That's-
on
still
it.
holding her finger.
And then
Then
I
what's-
remember, you know, when the second one comes and like wants to try and say something as well, and it's like, listen, can't you see he's got it? He's like proper got it. But now, he has his way of feeding, so he's got his one hand on the other breast. That
You know what? I knew immediately that
is
was going to
all
be the
mine.
way he did.
I'm aware.
Because it's almost like this is
one's
me.
still mine. Even I'm on this one. This is still mine, so no one else.
Man, stop gee the eye.
Dad, don't
It's
even try.
hilarious. It's hilarious.
Man just got both the bosoms
And
together.
then like he puts his foot and he like hooks around the arm as well.
Wow. That
Yeah,
is
like-
straight up. Everything is mine.
This woman is no longer yours.
Yeah.
Bruv, during this time, nobody gets none of this, bruv. Like you said, he's like, I'm not even on this one. But,
He might have been a twin for all I know.
bruv, he's like, that was for my brother, if he was here.
But
Don't know what
I
happened to him.
starved him too. Like that's why he ain't no.
Bruh, imagine, that's why he ain't here.
That's how it seems.
I ate him.
swear.
That's why it's so big.
And you know
I ate
what
him.
happened to your brother? I ate him.
That's it. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
Because when we first checked the scan, there was two. He's like, I ate him, Dad. I don't know why your son's American, but it just goes better. I ate him, father.
Nah, honestly,
Mama mad him two swords, mama.
he knew.
Talk about my part, like the feeling thing. I don't understand. Like, I don't know
Yeah,
sorry,
sorry,
yeah,
sorry.
we digress.
about breath and that.
I don't know
I got
what
my
to
breast
call
back.
it, but the only way I can describe it is like it's proper medicine because,
Wow, that's a good medicine.
you know, like I just remember like when I was younger how I loved cowpole. Like, cowpole always made me happy. Because
You might be drinking too much of it, bro.
I drank.
What's going on?
I told
No,
you
I liked
I was
Calpol.
a sickly child.
I like the taste of cow. But it was Benelin when I was growing up.
Okay, yeah, no, I was a sickly child, so anything sweet or that made you feel better, like, so I'm asthmatic, I'm still asthmatic. And my inhaler, I just remember, like, there's times I'll be playing with my friends, cousins, whatever, and my shoulders are up here, innit? Because I'm like, and I just remember, like,
It was real.
you know, the ones where you have to take an inhaler and it's like,
It was real.
I can breathe, like, I can breathe. It's that kind of feeling
Right. Okay.
where you can actually, you're saved. Is
Wow.
basically what I'll say.
That's a beautiful way
That
to
is-
describe it.
Because real talk, a child can do that. Like the child
I agree.
has healing powers.
I agree.
And it literally can take the birth of a child to bring a family close together. That's how mad it is.
Yeah.
So when they say like a funeral can rip a family apart, a birth can definitely bring a family back together.
That is beautiful.
And that's real.
Yeah. That's proper nice.
And like I said, I can talk that because I've been there, done that, bought the t-shirt. Simple as.
That was absolutely bloody beautiful, mate.
Yeah, I don't even want to go.
I don't think we should take it any further.
That is very
Because that was a beautiful. I don't know why I'm Cockney now, but sometimes you got to change it up.
Hey, you got to change it up sometimes.
Do you know what I mean, son? You know what I mean, no?
Back to pears, you know, apples and pears and all that.
That's
Yeah,
just
yeah.
love flowing. You know what I'm saying?
No, it's actually nice to have you on because you bring a different dynamic because we speak about a lot of dads from a certain perspective, and you've brought kind of like a new dad, just the joy, the enthusiasm.
And then we say, come back in 2 years' time, where it's like, yo, bruv, this child, man.
No, I don't.
Hey, when I
don't
say
think
yeah-
it'll happen. I don't think it's gonna happen.
I feel like you'd still be real. So even if this child was, you'd still you would still have the same enthusiasm and the same love and the conduct and just what
Certain.
that essence that you have, because that's who you are. Because it's before him. He's just helped you hone that because you had this before.
In a way, like, one thing that's always set me apart is I've never been a follower, which I think everyone said to me my whole life. I've always been different. You know, I'm from Brixton, black, single parent family, went to private school, did ballet, was happy to tell everyone I did ballet, made it my, what do you call it? In GCSE English, you had to talk about a topic. I went to a boys' school. Everyone was talking about football or guns or whatever, and I talked about ballet. And I didn't give a damn. I still don't give a damn. But I just remember like people who's like, this guy's weird, he's different, he's nuts. But I don't care. Like I never got into the whole computer games. I love jigsaw puzzles. So for fun, I would do 3,000 piece jigsaws,
Mad.
whatever. And that's the way I look at it. So one piece of advice, and that's to anyone. If you've never done a jigsaw puzzle, do one. Whether it's from like 500 pieces or 200 pieces, whatever, but build up.
Smaller than that.
No, 500 is good. Don't start lower than that.
I do the
that's
2
for
euros
like my little
puzzle. That's
kids.
enough for me at the moment.
No,
Get me?
seriously.
No.
Go from like 500
It's
to about
beautiful
1,000.
bonding. No, it's beautiful. bonding.
And why I say that is because a lot of the time in our lives, we always look at something from one perspective, right? Like just our own eyes. We never look at the bigger picture. And that's what a puzzle is. Every piece is your perspective. And when you put all the pieces together, that's the whole perspective. And then you see the whole picture.
Them drop mic ones.
And that's literally
Oh
what I
my
do.
Days.
So when I do a puzzle, I do the outside first, and then I just sift through all the other pieces. I know other people compartmentalize. I don't do that. I look at the picture, I look at what I'm trying to create, and whatever comes to me, that's the priorities. That's what you deal with first, and then you start building up your picture till you've got the whole picture, the whole perspective. When it's in order, then your brain's in order to approach your problem that you've got to do.
That was
And
nice.
that's what I've been doing.
I'm gonna do a puzzle.
That's
Do
great.
a
I've been
puzzle.
doing puzzles. Not
Not
got
your daughter's puzzles.
No,
Oh,
bag of
I've been
puzzles.
doing it. It's actually a big bonding session within the.
And that's
it's
the other
actually
thing.
Oh, nice. All right.
I should do it for the kids.
They are
Love
the
it.
best fit and they are patient. So you've got to take your time with it. You've got to persevere, even when you want to give up and dash it away. Nah, you have to keep persevering. And then when you've done it, you're actually like, rah.
I'm gonna do it.
I've achieved the
I've
problem.
never thought about it like that.
Yeah, nah.
Can you play Connect 4?
Can I play Connect 4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you see the reason he laughed, yeah? is because we can't play Connect 4 to this guy. Do not play Connect 4 with this guy. Don't play blackjack with this
What,
guy.
is there a Connect 4 guy?
Don't play blackjack with this
I'm
guy.
undefeated at
Don't
the
play
moment.
chess with this guy.
No, I don't feel like I'm gonna
Don't
play
do
chess
that.
with him.
Yeah, that's
Yes,
obvious.
Yeah, the chess was obvious.
I'll go chess.
I feel like you should
I'll
have it.
Connect 4. No way you can beat me. Connect 4.
Yeah, no, but we
it's a
said
real
chess.
thing. It's a real thing.
You get me? We said chess. We just he said no. I'll go chess, but I'll not be at Connect 4. That's not what we spoke
I didn't
about.
know Connect 4 was a real game. As
What
in,
you
like,
say?
let's get
Are you a
4 in a-
scientist with it, bro?
I said, let's get 4 in a row, innit? Like, shit, you got
Nah,
me.
it's-
But you keep getting me. But you keep getting everyone. No, but and then like, no, this is the science. Yeah, science.
No, there is a science.
Everything.
When there is
Look
a
at the puzzle. As small as it, as mad as it may be, there's the actual science behind it.
Yeah.
And it's all kind of elements. And that one was massive, what you just said.
Mad.
But the main thing we see in the family unit is actually a beautiful bonding. It's absolutely beautiful.
Yeah.
Especially if you go where you can start it and come back and then someone else is taking over.
You can,
It's
they can come back
mad.
and do a section that you didn't even think of.
Yeah.
And it's crazy where people go with it. So, like I said about the priorities,
Some people do that.
You
outside,
might
some
focus
people
on
do it all.
purple.
Yeah.
someone else might
Greens,
focus
yeah.
on red.
Yeah, it's true.
That's crazy.
And you're like, oh, yeah, we see it from different perspectives. But it's the best thing ever. And it really clears your mind. And my problem is I haven't done one in ages because I've had so much to do. But
Dad life now.
it's exactly. But I always try to make time. So I actually did one. I say I haven't done one for ages. Before he was born, I hadn't done one for ages. I done one about 3 weeks ago. And it was therapeutic. Took me like 2 days to do 1,000 pieces. But yeah, therapeutic.
That's mad.
I literally recommend it to anyone and everyone.
We're gonna try it. I think we're gonna have to try that collectively somehow.
All right, say no more. We'll do that.
Because I like the color first or the water first or the like that's
See
that's
who does
interesting
what.
still. Yeah, that's
It's crazy.
interesting.
As a dadsrus thing, doing puzzles.
just
Big man, you know what?
I don't know how.
Danny,
Yeah, do you know what I'm
sign
saying?
us
Like,
off before he goes somewhere
it
else.
sounded good.
I know,
Look, he's gonna go. Look.
No, but he might wants to talk about.
You see,
can
look,
we do
we're
a
trying to
puzzle
end
together?
the episode.
Do it with your kids, fam. Don't do it. I won't do it.
Yeah, that too. No, I do
So
though.
why?
I say I do like 1 every 3 years or something. But I have done. Do you know what I'm saying? I have done. But yeah, man. Thanks for coming though.
Yes, nah.
That was
Listen,
there was
We should
some-
get him back though in a couple
There
of
was-
years soon because we want to know what.
Man,
But I'm
why do you
confident.
say 7 things at the same
No,
time?
but for sure.
We should get him back soon. Couple years.
Because I'm trying to think, put the things together in it.
Let him get a year. Let him
Yeah,
get a year in.
you think- yeah.
Listen, we'll have a conversation with
See,
him.
when Matt's supposed to know your name, he'll go around the bush, bro. He'll go round and round.
You're doing
Start
that now,
hearing
bro.
tunes
All
in
now,
his
you're
head.
still just
Start
waiting.
hearing
All
tunes in
now.
his head and then come back to that.
Yeah,
So I just
you
want
See the love that we have for one another.
I love it though.
No, but
that's the community.
you
saying,
you
the village.
spoke beautifully. Your story beautifully, and my auntie as well. Big up my auntie.
Yeah.
Let's not let that one slide.
She is why who I am. If I'm honest.
Beautiful, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, her
Beautiful.
funeral was nuts. Like, that's the one time where I've lost it. Like I am not the biggest of criers, but I was a mess. I didn't care who saw.
yeah. That was,
I can imagine,
Cried.
brother. I can imagine.
I was in bits. I was on my knees. Yeah, that was the hardest day of my life. So when you know that you can get through something like that,
Baby,
nothing
light
else
work.
puts you off,
Nothing,
man.
everything's light
Yeah,
work.
everything is light work.
and
Respect for
a man can only imagine. But yeah, thank you, man. Thank you. Do you know what I'm saying?
Good.
Make sure, yeah, love and all that. Get me, my younger cousin.
Yeah.
Can't say little. We can't do
You have to
little.
say younger now, yeah.
Yeah, can't do. I'm trying to get through that with my sister.
What?
I'm not your little brother.
He's your
younger.
younger cousin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
3 years.
Why, yeah, no, the
Why
younger
are you
part.
backing up?
He was trying to put the younger part. He's younger, like he's more intelligent. Or something. Anyway, love and manners. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you follow. Yeah, love and manners. I said that already.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, I just feel like I just want.
Do the thing. This thing.
We're here to learn, share, understand.
Hands.
Matt, you know what? You have to sign up because you got so much.
Yeah, don't know the man. So big up yourself. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, leave a comment, share it. This is different from the normal minute. Something different. Like we get to actually celebrate life properly. And this one we got some gems in there. Hope you lot got something from that. Please subscribe, like, share, comment. You don't know the man space. Inside.
No, don't lock off my thing like that. That was too good.
Man-
Danny's just editing now.
That was too good. Don't do that.
Danny's
Love-
behind the camera.
Love and, yeah, I'm behind the edit.
Later.
Yeah,
Later,
love,
guys.
Love and manners.
Daddy's a hater, bro. That's a hater.
In this one episode, you're gonna edit. He's gonna close.
He's gonna close.
What are you gonna do? Just bring in the talent.
Like,